Hi guys, this is Julie Kedzie here to bring you into Invicta fights for the main card. With me today I have some very cool special experts helping me. King Moluwa, my broadcast partner, and we have the possible future UFC champion of the world with us, second woman to be signed to the UFC, Liz Carmouche. So these guys are here with me to help me break down the Invicta FC4 card. What we have to start with, we're going to start with our championship bout. This is the strawweight title with Carla Esparza, the Cookie Monster, versus Beck Rowdy Hyatt. So talk me through this one, guys. What do you think?
I think it's definitely going to have to go to Carla. I've trained with her personally, and she's a tough little person. I was going to go with Tough Cookie, and that kind of fits into her actual fight name. Her wrestling is just unstoppable, and I think that really kind of cancels out Beck, unfortunately, so I'm going to definitely give this to Carla. But I think it'll be a good fight.
Well, with me, Beck stepping in, take this fight short notice. Obviously, she's very confident. There's probably something she knows that we don't know. She has, comes from Australia, good kickboxing background, good jiu-jitsu. Maybe she can pull it off, land a knee, land a submission. We won't know till, Saturday.
Yeah, it should be kind of interesting. I mean, those short notice fights, that can sometimes work in your favor as a fighter, stepping up there and being like, hey, I don't have anything to lose, let's go. And I have to say, she is a feisty little thing. She's got huge social media background. She's really, really enjoying herself, and it just seems like she's totally relaxed and just ready for a challenge. So Carla Esparza is a huge challenge. A huge challenge. This girl is legit. So this should be something pretty exciting. So let's move along to the bantamweights. We have the co-main event of the evening, which is Alexis Davis versus Shayna Baszler. I know these two women very well. They've both kicked my ass. So we have that going into it. But that's just me. Let's break this one down. What do you think, Liz?
I think this is going to be a great fight. I'm going to have to go with Alexis just because she's a lot more fresh, and each and every fight she's still adapting, she's growing, and she's changing. Whereas, not to take away from Baszler, she's an amazing fighter, but she's kind of coasted along at the same level, and Alexis just keeps on improving every fight, so I think she's just going to show us once again that she's improved that much more and probably take this fight.
I'm going to have to disagree with you on that. We agree on a lot of the same things. We both fight. We're both tough. But you know what? I think you on that bath salt. You know what I'm saying? Shayna Baszler has improved a lot. She was coasting for a while. I think she got a little comfortable, but her last two fights we've seen with Sarah McMahon, she stepped up and gave Sarah all she could handle. And then her other fight with Delelio, she put a stop to that bunny boxing and submitted her. I think that, this is the meanest girl on the planet. We all saw with the leg stomp or the foot stomp she did. I think that this is her fight to take. Both women are great fighters, but I'm wrong with Baszler on this one.
We've got U.S. versus Canada on this one, and I know that Shayna's really, really upset that bacon is Canadian now. She really thinks it's an American tradition, so she's fighting for the honor of the U.S. and bacon. But you know what, you guys, honestly, this one, I don't know where it's going to go. I know these two fought. I know that Shayna won the decision on it, but I don't know, Alexis Davis is so tough. She is really, really improving day by day. And Shayna Baszler, her last fight blew me away. Sarah Delelio is not a joke, and she just went boom right through.
Well, I'm just saying this. I'm looking forward to this fight. This might be the fight of the night, and we'll see what happens come Saturday.
Yeah, sweet. All right, and we are going to move along to another bantamweight fight. Wow, these two they carry a little bit of a beef, to say the least. These two are not happy with each other, and they're really, really looking to settle things in the cage on Saturday night. Leslie Smith, Raquel Pennington. What can you say about this one, you guys? I know that they're very not happy with each other at the moment going into this fight. So who do you have on this one?
I think that animosity that you can have for each other is going to bring a lot of fuel, and it's going to bring, I think, a fire that's going to spark in the fight that people are really going to enjoy. It'd be great for the fans. It's a hard one to pick, but I think that Leslie Smith is maybe the more well-rounded fighter, but I think this is going to be close to probably one of the best fights of the night, for sure.
You know what? I'm going to agree with you. Hey, Leslie Smith is a beast. I love watching her fight. Her and Caitlin, that was that fight right there is probably a fight that I'd recommend both of them. Recommend for anyone and everyone to watch. You know, Raquel, she showed a great showing of herself when she fought Kazagano. You know, she hung in there. She fought back, but you know, eventually just got overwhelmed. But I think she has something to prove because her debut didn't go as well. But I think this time it's gonna be a time to shine, quite possibly. But we'll see because Leslie ain't no joke.
Yeah, you know, Rocky was always the underdog, and Raquel, yeah, I think she's coming into this one with maybe a little less experience. But you never know where that animosity is going to take you. I'm really excited. This one is going to be fireworks. Pennington versus Smith. Super exciting. Okay, and again, we're with the 135ers. We have Amanda Nunes, the lioness of the ring, versus Sarah DeLelio. Now, Sarah DeLelio did come off of that loss with Shayna Baszler, her last fight, and Nunes is actually coming off of a win. Where do you have this one?
This is a tough one. Honestly, I could see it going either way. I think this will probably be the fight of the night because these are two tough women. I think they're just going to duke it out, make it bloody, put on a great show. And this is a hard one. I could see it going either way.
Don't play Switzerland. Don't play Switzerland right now.
You just have to choose somebody and get behind them.
I'm Switzerland on this one because I think it's going to be a great one. I say decision, and then from that point, you know, when it goes to decision, it can go either way. You can think you saw a win in the whole fight, and then they see something different. It's all in the judges, so I can see it going another way.
Well, I agree with you, you know, but I think with this, Amanda comes out very strong. You know, I think it's going to be up to Sarah to weather the storm and see if she can, you know, come back later in the second round or third round. You never know what's going to happen because Amanda is vicious. I've seen her fight plenty of times. She has that power. But then Sarah is tough, submission skills, and she's a grinder. She's in your face, and she just don't care.
Yeah, and you know, I will say about this fight, we have Amanda Nunes who comes out very, very aggressively, sometimes a little bit wide on her punches, not always, sometimes a little bit wide. And then we have Sarah DeLelio who switched everything up. She's training at CSA, which has some of the highest level Muay Thai fighters in America. And so, you know, she's gonna be able to maybe take a straight line on those wide punches. On the other hand, Nunes actually has a pretty sick ground game that we don't get to see that much because she's really good at knocking people out. But she did win her last fight by submission, if I'm not mistaken. Sarah DeLelio also has a sick ground game, and even though she fell short to a submission, you don't know what's going to happen. So I think it actually is going to come down to who has the better wrestling on this one. I'm actually going to go that the better wrestler is going to take this fight.
So I hear Switzerland all around. He's making decisions.
Okay, and we are moving on to one of my favorite divisions, one of the divisions that's often overlooked in this sport. This is the 145ers. We have Adrienne Gomes versus Hiroko Yamanaka. Now Yamanaka fell short in her last fight actually to a very high-level striker. Adrienne Gomes is kind of a little powerhouse, so how is this one going to play out?
I think you said it best. Gomez is a little powerhouse. I see it going her way, but Yamanaka is also skilled. But for this one, we have to pick Gomez.
You know what, Switzerland? I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon. But you know, I think Yamanaka, she's a seasoned. Maybe she has a few tricks up her sleeve. You know, a lot of the Japanese fighters are very unorthodox and they're crafty. But Gomes is.
She's
Man,
a scary lady.
I don't want to get kicked or punched by her, or kneed, or taken down, or submitted, nothing. But you never know what Yamanaka can bring to the table. So, you know, anything can happen. It's MMA.
Yeah, and if Yamanaka's been working on her striking, like she said, again, she's got a really long reach advantage in this fight. It's possible she could keep Gomes at bay with her jab and, you know, impose her will. On the other hand, Gomes can probably get underneath that jab pretty quickly. Like in her last fight against Catalina Malangahu, she just, I mean, it was amazing, like how she survived an onslaught and came back around to win. So it's exciting. And then Yamanaka is really, really eager to prove herself in America. You know, she's fallen short in her last fight with Strikeforce, and she's here to prove a point and solidify her place, you know, as a top 145er. So we'll have to see what happens. And we're going to move on to our next and last fight that we'll be featuring here. We have Joanne Calderwood versus Livia T-Rex von Plettenberg. I have to look at my notes for that one, because von Plettenberg, she's a mystery girl. Nobody knows anything about her. We saw Joanne Calderwood, you know, in her last fight with Invicta, and she just looked phenomenal. She beat the previously unbeaten Ashley Cummins, and her situation is she had a switch of opponent. She was actually originally supposed to fight Rowdy Beck Hyatt, and then Beck got the call to move up for the title fight. And I think that, Joanne was actually assuming that she was going to be still fighting back because she also got the call for the title fight. She was like, well, no, I'm not prepared to fight a wrestler yet. And, this one, there's a little bit of a soap opera going on here. Joanne's like, she kind of turned out the fight expecting to have her original opponent. She doesn't have her original opponent. Her original opponent's fighting for the title. So I don't know, like this, there's a little drama in this fight. I think we could see a really mean Calderwood, and who isn't, her expectations aren't being met, and I'd be scared of that because she seemed pretty mean the last time around. But we have a mystery opponent. Go ahead.
I think with T-Rex, like you said, mystery plays in a lot. You see people that come in, they're unexpected, they're automatically assumed to lose, and they prove everybody wrong, and it's MMA. Anything can happen. Small mistake, drop of blood, sweat, and it changes the whole entire fight. But Calderwood has the height advantage, and she also has more experience. So I think that's going to work in her favor, and I'm going to have to go with her on that one.
I have to agree with you on that one. Calderwood's a beast. You don't really know what to expect from T-Rex, but I know one thing. We can expect a vicious knee from Calderwood. Because that knee she threw the last fight was something nasty. That's broken ribs, busted liver, intestines split, everywhere, But you never know what to expect. It's MMA, anything can happen, and T-Rex can come with something that we never seen before herself.
That's true, and actually T-Rex has a pretty extensive kickboxing background, and she is training with Team Quest now, so it could be that she's improved her double legs or her single legs or something, and if she doesn't get caught with a knee, we could actually see some nice slams or something like that. We don't know what to expect. It's a mystery fight. So we're going to leave you guys with that one. We do have some more exciting matchups on the Invicta FC4 card. So you guys, check out these fights. Check out some of the other fights. $7.95, seriously, what else are you going to do on a Saturday night? But watch some really, really, really awesome women throw down. InvictaFC.com. Join us. It's going to be a hell of a show.